Hey Axis and Allies players, this is the Good Captain, and welcome to Germany's turn 7, the real one, I guess, in this game of Axis and Allies 1914 against a live opponent, out of box, no bid. So, yeah, I don't know if, I don't know what happened, but yeah, he didn't mean to, my opponent didn't mean to, leave 3 territories so that the revolution would happen, and glad to hear that because I'd rather play the game this way. But so yeah, I accepted the re-roll for Russia's turn, or offered it, and he accepted it. And yeah, so he moved 2 infantry and an artillery out to Belarus. There's a 1 in 6 chance of this failing, and it failed. Not only that, he lost an infantry, so that might be the universe saying something. But anyway, so now I get to, this is going to be way more interesting, and I'm really glad to play the game in this manner rather than the other manner, because this is the first time I get to sort of experiment with accrued knowledge over previous games, because I've made mistakes not understanding or applying the Russian Revolution rule, and now we get to sort of experiment with new strategies. So this is the first time you're going to see me do what I'm about to do, and I'll explain it. But 7 infantry and arty and 3 fighters is the purchase. I won't spend too much time on that. Okay, so here's the idea. Now, what we're trying to do is gain as many IPCs as we can. So, but also, it might be a better way of putting it. I want to leave the best option open to me in terms of whether I should accept the revolution as the CP or not, up until the last possible second. So I want to create conditions under which either outcome are most beneficial to me. And I've gamed this out now several times, and I've essentially lost games making mistakes about how to do this. I might review some of that because it's not intuitive. But yeah, this is the first barrier to break through in the game. Killing off Russia doesn't mean the game is over. It means that the game gets to continue into the future turns. And I'd say 7 or 8 is about as long as you want this country to last. But anyway, I digress. German combat moves. So we're gonna do. Oops. Oh my god. Okay. We're just going to push pieces. We need to throw everything in the kitchen sink at Russia as Germany. So we're going to take these 2 infantry off of Finland and move them into Karelia. And then we're going to pair it with 2 artillery. And that is the only asset that's not going into Moscow. Everything else goes straight into Moscow. Okay? All the German units that can go straight in. So, first, for the curious, this air battle of 4 fighters versus 3 defending fighters is 78% chance in favor of the Germans, 19% chance in favor of the Russians, and 3% chance that nobody has any fighters in the battle. So, whoops. I deliberated whether to send any fighters in at all, but again, in terms of leaving the most options open for whether to accept or deny, it basically comes down to dice rolls. I decided to put in the fighters. So here's the deal. Assuming we survive with a single fighter, and the Germans have 9 artillery and 39 infantry, we're not looking to win or even to do more damage to the enemy than they do to us. It's just to create a contested zone. We're not worried about casualties. It's probably the only time you'll hear me say something like this. But 39, 9, and let's just say 1 fighter survives. 63 infantry and 9 artillery on defense. I'll probably pause the video and let this run, but I want a good, accurate number. Okay, wow, 100% draw. Can't be right. No, it's right. Well then, okay, this... Yes, and then we're going to lose a ton in total unit value. A ton, but it'll gain back. Yes, I'm attacking at a mass disadvantage. Many Germans will die. But let's see what the if there are no fighters in the air. Let's see what that is. Again, 0, 100, 0, and now let's see if the Russians win. Let's see what the calculation is. Okay, 1%. This is actually much better than I thought, and in that case, I may throw another artillery up at Karelia. Huh. Because 2-2 against the single is 94, and I really want it above 95. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We'll send one more artillery up to Karelia just to ensure that it goes down. Oh, wait, we have an infantry we can float in, right? Yeah, so maybe that's the better move to make. 3-2 against a single. Won't be as effective as an arty, but it's just a loose infantry sitting there. 96. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. So that's my answer to this East Front question. This is only half of it, though the other half it'll make more sense on the Austro-Hungarian turn. The idea is to take every single territory adjacent so that the Russians can't leave the capital. Then they will be essentially forced to attack with their units. If they didn't, we would accept the revolution. If they did, and they rolled badly, we could deny. They still have to offer the revolution, but we could say no and take the capital. Anyway, it just keeps options open. Probably won't take Sevastopol for that reason, just to keep both options open. But okay, over here, this is almost just as important because the British can pull their pieces out of here and move 1, 2, and drop into Karelia and create a contested space. Oh, wait. No, as long as... Oh, I might have to pause and restructure my strategy. So I was thinking... Yeah, as long as we kill this Russian infantry, even if the British create a contested zone, the Russian units in Moscow would not be able to move out of Moscow and into Karelia. And there's reasons to do that. I won't go into them right now. That's what I was afraid of. The reason they can't is because you can only move from contested zone to contested zone if the new area that you're moving into has one of your own pieces there, one infantry at least. So if we kill that Russian, killing the Brits is not a priority, so I will have to pause and adjust my strategy, because my original one was to smash Holland and Kiel to make sure there was no British at all, but now this changes things. Okay, we're back, and yeah, pretty basic actually. Hanover puts a blocker in Munich. The rest of the infantry in Hanover go to the Ruhr. All the armor hits Kiel. All the infantry in Berlin hit Kiel. I've decided to strip Ruhr of 6 artillery. The fighters in Berlin come to the Ruhr. So we have 1 fighter more than the French, but after this purchasing turn we should have air superiority for good over there. And then we're going to assume everything works out well on the East Front, because we kind of have to at this point, and we're going to come back to Hanover with these 3 infantry. So this 963 attack on Kiel has a 90% chance of success, but even if it becomes contested, it's enough to activate the mines against the Brits, so it should shut it down for good. And we shouldn't but the most probable outcome, I should say, is that we suffer no hits because the tanks should absorb the 3 hits that the enemy achieves. So it's actually 89% big whoop. I'm comfortable with that. So let's check around to make sure we got everybody. No more Germans to consider. Yes. Yes, we are ready to rock. One more thing. I'm going to calculate expected losses inflicted and received in Russia. So, little pause. The most probable or expected number of hits from the Germans is 20 and maybe 21. And the most likely outcome from the Russians is 36 hits. So this, of course, assumes at least one CP. The CP win the air battle and there's one fighter in the air. So that's basically best case scenario. I'm actually going to fire Karelia first because that's the one that scares me the most. So yeah, let's just do it. Karelia. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that opens up a lot of options for the Russians. Wow, it was 95 or 96% chance. The air battle in Moscow. Well, that went well. The battle in Moscow. Oh wow, we rolled warm, pretty warm. And they rolled a little cool, so perhaps it's a tomato-tomato thing. And the battle in Kiel. So yeah, that worked out. Just this Karelia thing is problematic in that essentially now, not that it's a good thing, but that was huge actually. I don't know if he'll take it or not, but it allows the Russian player to surrender the capital, basically to never allow the revolution, and in exchange he keeps his army in play, this massive army that just did a good deal of damage to me. So but again, I mean, the Russian Revolution, so in other words, all this army in Moscow just leaves Moscow completely, doesn't even leave a blocker, just leaves it, surrenders the money and all that nonsense, and there it sits in Karelia, smashes this Karelian German army, and then sits up there. Wow. I was almost gonna throw in the other arty. I guess I should have. But again, these rules are confusing, and it may be that he doesn't see it. Wow. I don't know what to say. That sucks. Yeah, 96%. I mean, there's a. It's not 100, but I guess we could have made it 100 with that third arty. 98, not even. That's pretty rotten. But our die is cast. There's really nothing to do but pursue the Russian army. I mean, they are degraded, so worst case scenario, we take Moscow. Yeah, it's not. I guess it's not the end of the world. Wow. The Austro-Hungarian army will move in. Heck, I guess we could attack. Let's see. Yeah, it would be swaps if we attacked. Lower the Russians down to basically, what, 12 infantry and 9 artillery. I don't know. Anyway, alright, I'm done. We'll continue to fight this war, but That was a big, that was a big problem. That's a big problem. Oh, one other thing. This mine goes back to German, for what it's worth. Huh. Okay, thanks for watching this. All the best from the good captain, and bye-bye.